My dad died very suddenly, and everything I know about surviving impossible life moments started when I was 13. I developed a accidental strategy that I now use as a therapist. I call them sick days. A sick day is not, I'm not a person today, I don't have responsibilities. As adults, unfortunately, we do have responsibilities. A sick day is I'm doing the absolute bare minimum to cover my responsibilities so that I can fully yield to the intensity of what I'm carrying inside. So for me in high school, what that looked like was making sure that I was getting good grades. I was basically trying to never get less than like a B. And I was doing the absolute bare minimum to maintain my GPA because I would just not go to school. I met the maximum days of absence from school before you get like expelled. How many more days can I have for my, I wouldn't have said at the time for my grief. I would have said for sleeping, for taking baths, for reading books, for watching The Price is Right, for eating grilled cheese sandwiches. But really what I was doing was I was bearing intolerable grief. And now in my adult life, my sick days look pretty similar to what they looked like growing up, except that they're much fewer and farther between. I go to work, I see all my clients, and then I sign off, and then I get in bed. I watch endless episodes of reality television, and I don't cook. When I'm in this particular space, all I want to eat is bread and cheese. So I'll eat like grilled cheese sandwiches, microwaved quesadillas. My appetite just gets very, very narrow. I just want the comforts that I would eat when I was growing up. You know, my clients are so quick to label their big feelings as depression. The thing that I just went through, for sure, probably would have met the criteria for depression, but I don't tend to think of it like that. I mean, I don't have a problem thinking of, I'm happy to add that in the mix. It's not the primary way that I'm thinking about what's happening to me. I'm not thinking like, oh, my brain chemistry is off, or oh, I'm having a depressive episode. I'm thinking something has just activated my deepest wound. I need to create a lot of space to hold that, to hold the surfacing of that wound. When it surfaces and whatever triggers it surfacing, that is the impossible life moment. It's like, here it is again. I'm never going to be able to eradicate this feeling. The best I can do in some ways is to yield to it and to trust that I can be both the mess and the walls around the mess. Like, even though it often feels like if we let those huge feelings in, that we will drown. The key is to develop a sense inside that that I am both things at once. It's a paradox. I am both the vast ocean of grief and I am the shoreline that contains the grief. And I learned how to do that in high school when all the other kids were learning AP US history. I was learning AP grief management. Mr. Rogers says that all feelings are mentionable and that anything mentionable is manageable. If we can talk about it, that is the process of becoming the shore, and all human feelings are mentionable, including terrible grief and confusion and shame. A sick day is a day that we let the tide come in, let the waters rise, and we begin to learn how to trust that the shore will contain it, that no matter how big the feeling gets, that we have the ability inside, if we know how to develop it, to hold what comes in. We do that by managing our basic responsibilities, and then we give ourselves permission to be undone. And for me, that looks like laying in bed and watching reality TV all day and going to Starbucks and getting a big refresher and deciding not to walk my dog that day and microwaving a quesadilla. If we can frame a sick day as a skill rather than a failure, because I think for me growing up, it felt like I was a loser, or I was a lazy second-rate student who, you know, my best friends were doing amazing things at school and I was in my bathtub reading Anna Karenina. If I had had someone to frame that as a skill that I was learning to develop rather than a failure of a skill, I think it would have made a big difference for me. My hope is that you can take sick days as a tool in your toolbox or an emergency option and come back to when you need it. Tell me in the comments, what do you do on your sick days?